This goddamn inconsiderate weasel. I was going down to do Burt Prentice's TV show. And me and Scott Hudson doing commentary, right? Well, Burt calls me one day and says, well, Jim, you know, they're starting that TNA thing up, because he does in Nashville, you know. They're starting that TNA thing up, and the TNA announcers are going to be here at TV. They want to do some practice. Well, I thought he was asking me to step back. I said, oh, sure, Burt, no problem. That's your main gig. I'm just doing this for a lark, so, you know, I'll stay home. No, no, no. Burt, excuse me, I want you to do my TV. I just want you to know they're going to be in the back of the building practicing. Why are you telling me that? Well, one of them's Ed Ferrera. I said, oh, well, Burt, I'm going to have to fucking punch Ed Ferrera. He said, well, I knew there was heat, and I'm wondering if you could not fucking beat him up, because, you know, I said, all right, Burt, I love you, you're great, been nice to me, that's your main gig, I won't hit him. But we go down there. Now, I never promised him that I wouldn't tell Ed Ferrara what I thought of him. And I don't think very fucking much of him. For one thing, he was sucking Vince Russo's cock all those goddamn years. He fucked Vince McMahon. Well, he didn't really fuck Vince McMahon. He just left with the guy that fucked Vince McMahon. But also, he's a goddamn embarrassment to the fucking business. And besides that, the main thing was Jim Ross. So, we're there, and about 40 guys in the back, and I'm Dusty Rhodes. I hadn't seen in ages, talking to Dusty, hugged his neck, you know, talking to Ronnie Gossett's there, and, you know, just a bunch of people I know. And in walks this fucking lame-ass goddamn prick with fucking dreadlocks. He looked like a white Bob Marley with a big fucking sand ass. You know, one of those fucking things you punch, they kind of bobble, you know. Big. And if I can talk about a big ass, it's big. and I saw him, and I was like, fuck. And he looks at me and he smiles. Last time I'd seen him was when I was in Connecticut, and we were all writing together, you know. Actually, he was carrying Vince Russo's papers. Vince Russo was attempting to write, and I was attempting not to fucking cut my throat being around Vince Russo. So he comes up to me with his fucking hand out. So I walked up to him and I said, hi, Ed. And this is not verbatim because I said a lot of words real quick. But I said, I just want to tell you what a fucking miserable fucking piece of shit you are, you goddamn no good cocksucker, for fucking making fun of Jim Ross's Bell's palsy. Now, I will digress here. Here's a fucking guy who's given 30 years of his life to the business, Jim Ross, who is the best announcer, maybe asterisk Gordon Soley, but who's the best announcer now of modern times, who is a workaholic, who gives his life to the business, who loves the business, and here this little fucking prick comes along from writing Duckman or whatever the fuck he did in California and took 2 wrestling classes at Slammer's Wrestling Gym and thinks he deserves a goddamn spot in the wrestling business and goes on national television and makes fun of a guy's, he wasn't doing fat jokes. He wasn't doing goddamn bad hair jokes. He wasn't doing ugly jokes. He was making fun of a goddamn disability, a disease, a fucking paralysis of this guy's face that almost cost him his career, and he goes on television and makes fun of it. He's the most disreputable, miserable fucking piece of shit human being that's ever breathed air, in my opinion. And I felt someone should tell him so. So I said, you fucking miserable piece of shit, for making fun of Jim Ross's Bell's palsy, I want to tell you that you're a goddamn cocksucker. Fuck you, you fucking miserable asshole. And he's like, oh, really? I said, yeah, really. I said, Jim Ross has more talent in his little finger than you got in your whole stinking body. It's a goddamn shame you ever got in the fucking wrestling business to begin with. And fuck you, fuck you, fuck you in the ass. And he's like, oh, really? Well, I said I wouldn't hit him, but I didn't say I wouldn't spit on him, so I hopped too, and I spit in his fucking eye. And I said, now, the parking lot's 15 feet that way, you little cocksucker. You want to do anything about it? I don't know that I can whip him, but I was willing to try, whereas he didn't even have the goddamn balls. If you took Ed Ferrara's fucking nuts and you fucking threw them into a goddamn drinking straw, they'd look like a kernel of corn rolling into a storm drain. He's a goddamn cowardly, miserable fucking prick. He had the chance to fucking defend himself, he had the chance to fight me, and he wouldn't do it. Not because I'm goddamn King Kong or Godzilla, because he's a ballless, nutless, cowardly, yellow-bellied fucking prick. And I spit in his fucking face, and I asked him to go outside, and then people started coming over, and he wiped his face off, and he said, I've got too much respect for all the people here. I said, you don't have any goddamn respect, you fucking ass lick. That's why we're having this conversation. Fuck you. And he fucking went off in the back of the building, and I never saw him again. I did the television show. He fucking played with whoever's dick he was playing with that night, and I haven't seen him again. But I felt like somebody had to tell him, If you fuck with a friend of mine, I learned this from my mother and my father and a lot of people I've been around that I respect. If you fuck with a friend of mine, then you're fucking with me. It wasn't about somebody didn't do a job for me, or somebody didn't pay me back this money, or somebody didn't fucking give me interview time, or any wrestling pissy ass bullshit. He made fun of a person who I respect and who's been a friend to me. He made fun of their fucking disease, their disability that almost cost them their career, and I think he should be run over by a goddamn 18-wheeler in the fucking street. And fuck him. I'll tell you one thing, that fucking Ferrara, real quick. The goddamn miscarriage thing. Did I tell you that last time?
I don't remember.
Real quickly, Terry Runnels has a goddamn miscarriage. And I went up to Ed Ferrera. I said, you fucking idiot. I said, what was that all about? Well, it would happen on Dallas or whatever. I said, yeah, shit. They don't look at it like a TV show. They don't look at it like characters. They believe in these guys. They know it's a work now, but still they believe that this guy really is this guy. Ric Flair is Ric Flair, blah, blah, blah. I said, a miscarriage is going to leave a bad taste in the people's mouth that it's ever happened to. The people who know wrestling's a work are going to say, well, that's in bad taste. And the people who don't know wrestling's a work are still going to say, oh, that's kind of uncomfortable. And it didn't sell any tickets or any pay-per-views or draw any ratings. It was just worthless. I said, I would personally punch you in the face, Ed. This was before we had...
I think you did talk about this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd punch you in the face, you know, if it had happened to my wife, just because it's needless.
Right.
They got to understand, if you haven't been a performer, it's not writing word for word and laying everything out. You got to go out and feel it. You got to play to the crowd and be yourself. And you got to let the guys do that. You got to show them how to do it. You got to show them how to feel the people, and then you got to let them. And for somebody who's never been in that position, it's very hard